सलाम अजीज़ों, क्या हाल चाल। आज मैं नई गेम लेके आया हूँ, स्ले द प्रिंसेस। तो ये कोई चॉइसेस वाली स्टोरी टाइप गेम है, तो खेलने में भी मज़ा आएगा। कोई लव स्टोरी वाली गेम है ये। तो चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं। The Hero and the Princess Chapter 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh,
You're here to slay her.
सच
If you
में
don't, it will be the end of the world.
स्ले, अगर यार कोई देसी है उसे नहीं पता स्ले का क्या मायने है, तो स्ले मतलब कत्ल करना। शहजादी को हमने कत्ल करना है। ओके, किलिंग प्रिंसेस सीम काइंड ऑफ बैड, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
इसकी भी बात ठीक है, दुनिया को बचाना है और हमने हीरो बनना है। Can someone else do this? हाँ, मैं ही क्यों?
You're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
Okay. What you're
I'm talking
about?
about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Okay. Okay, I'm sold. Let's do this.
Good.
Okay.
As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing.
Okay.
You
Try
make your way
Martin.
up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any
Okay.
further.
क्या है भाई?
She will lie, she will
Ah.
cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
सच में? Obviously औरत है, उस पे हम इतबार थोड़ी ना कर सकते हैं।
Women.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Voice of the hero, क्या हीरो है?
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin. चल भाई। दरवाजा खुल गया भाई।
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The
नजर तो आ रहा
blade
है।
is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade into the basement. Take the blade.
You
उठा
take
ले
the
भाई।
blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Into the basement. चल भाई।
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
ओए,
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
just checking
Oh.
on you.
It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Yes.
Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
यार ये हमें मरवाएगा।
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you? It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Tighten the grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Should be. क्या तो हमें खा जाएगी चुड़ैल है तुम?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
ला भाई बंदूक ला. इसे छुरी से मसला है बंदूक ला.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
क्या कर
She's
लेगी तू?
unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
The blade. What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills
You
us?
go into this expecting to die. You're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
Civilized with each other. क्या बातें कर रही है तू? Naughty होने की कोशिश कर रही है.
नोटी हो रहा.
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
तो हमने कोई कहा है कि हमने बात करनी है? Okay, squint at Princess while holding into the blade. Fine, when I guess.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back.
Okay.
The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
नहीं भाई हमेशा के लिए तो नहीं कर सकते. Squint at the princess. Everyone
You
hard.
squint even harder. So does she.
So does she.
At
वो
least
भी कर रही
nobody's
है.
dying right now.
You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
ओ भाई दो ही ऑप्शन आ गए. Drop the blade or slay the princess. Slay the princess. देखते हैं बात मान
Charge
के
the
देखते हैं.
princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
ले भाई dodge मार लिया उसने तो.
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
ओ भाई क्या जिम्नास्टिक
You
सीख रही
shouldn't
है
have
छोरी.
hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure.
Oh,
the
hard
pointed
देखो
tip
भाई
of her
उसकी.
shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do?
ओ भाई.
Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more
Sound
pressure,
देख इसकी.
slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
This is the end, isn't it?
I'm afraid it is.
ले भाई.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
मर गया मादर चोद.
मर गया. The tower.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path,
Oh,
you're
भाई पता है
here to
क्या?
slay her.
Okay, no. But I died. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally...
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
क्या तू हम पे भी सवार है? ये नरेटर भी क्या कोई जिन है?
What does it
क्या?
matter what he knows? There's
Voice
nothing
of
we
the
can do to
broken.
stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Okay, proceed to the cabin. चल भाई.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat. We
ओ
might
भाई
as
पहले
well
भी
just
पता है.
pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
कर रहे हैं proceed
If
into the
that's what
cabin.
you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
चल भाई अंदर.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small.
We
We
are small.
are small.
अच्छा approach the. हाँ मिरर भी है यार. Approach the mirror. मिरर में क्या?
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wipe the mirror.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
गायब
We
हो
should
गए?
count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Take the blade into the. Blade उठाओ भाई,
You
वो
take the
खतरनाक
blade
है.
from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
खतरनाक है भाई, वो जिम्नास्टिक सीख रही है या उसने सीखी हुई है. क्या
The
क्या
door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
This is actually kind of nice.
But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear?
Ooh.
Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
ओह तेरी
You
खतरनाक.
weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter
Save
what
it.
that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Continue down the stairs. Okay.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window.
उड़ रही है
Her long
भाई,
hair
क्या चुड़ैल
billows
है ये
around
तो.
her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You
क्या
brought
भाई?
that knife again,
3 wishes
even though
दे.
you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
क्या भाई 3 विशेस देगी हमें? गाड़ी बंगला मकान चाहिए हमें.
Drop it.
ओ भाई डर गए हम तो. टाइटन
As
से
if
देख.
on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
सच में मजबूती से पकड़ता है क्या तेरी स्लिपरी हैंड है?
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on. You'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Kneel kya bhai? No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your
Oh,
legs
bhai, घुटनों में
buckle
बैठ गया.
and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
Okay.
The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Remain silence. You're supposed to end the word.
Do
चुप ही रहना
you
ठीक.
think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open? Do you think your skull can save your thoughts from being seen?
खतरनाक वही क्या.
You're less broken than I thought. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here. Don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but...
दूर से ही फेंक यार क्या.
As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Pick up the blade. बस यही है choice.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This
Stand.
one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
Stand.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To defy me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
क्या पागल है.
You don't have
नहीं.
to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
End this.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End
क्या?
her.
क्या चल. Slay the princess. खुद को क्यों
The
भाई.
body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry.
Don't.
As you take another step
Devakoof.
forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
Okay.
It's what she wants.
यार ये वॉइस ऑफ ब्रोकन. यार ये अंदर की फीलिंग्स है क्या है ये मेरे ऊपर 3-4 जिन सवार हो गए हैं. ये कुछ चुड़ैल मुझे लग रही है जो मेरे ऊपर जिन सवार कर रही है.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it.
कैसे?
Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat.
Ooh.
The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
भाई इतना बड़ा हाथ इतनी बड़ी हो गया तो क्या भाई?
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
तू मार देगी हमें अब.
There's a place at my side for you.
हाथ काट
if
दे
you'll
इसका,
have it.
हाथ काट दे.
Not as an
मजा है.
equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Well, that's demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it.
क्यों भाई?
I think he's
क्यों
given up
take it?
whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
Slay the princess. No, क्यों भाई? मार.
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom
भाई,
rushes
पैर
through
पे हमला
you
किया,
as you
क्या
channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance.
ओ भाई क्या ग्राफिक हो रहा है बंदा. YouTube बैन ना
She
कर दे मुझे.
falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. Don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
ये मरवाएगा हमें बंदा.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet.
And his name is John C.
पंच मारा है भाई जॉन सीना.
Numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact.
ओ भाई इतना जबरदस्त.
You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this. The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall. But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
ओ भाई क्या डिप्रेस्ड बंदा है तू.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine.
वाकई भाई हीरो है तू तो.
She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never going to get a happy ending here, were we? Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something, I guess.
I guess.
Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 3 The Furry. Furry? क्या भाई घटिया नाम दिया.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
Counting sobbing.
I think
कौन
he's
रो रहा है
upset.
भाई.
And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
क्या?
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was. You're damn right we did. You'll get over it. Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed.
Yes.
You're being too generous. He did get us killed.
Okay. No matter what happened next, it seems like you answer in the cabin. Proceeding to the cabin. Okay.
Good. We're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard. That's fine by me. Let's get moving.
Okay, proceeding to the cabin. Ja bhai.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten.
Oh.
There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
Take the blade from the pedestal. It would
खतरनाक
be
है भाई
difficult
वो.
to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. Almost as if you don't see it. But you must, because it's right there in front of you. All we see is a damn mirror.
वही तो मैं भी सोच रहा हूँ भाई.
It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now? Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her. Don't you want to know what we'll see?
Smash.
We won't be able to see anything if we smash it.
Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
Wipe the
You
mirror.
reach
clean.
forward and drag your hand
Ah.
across the door leading to the basement.
बाकी
As if on
hallucinations.
command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Why am I not surprised?
You step forward into the darkness. The
Nee,
stairs
nee,
leading
nee,
down
nee.
to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop
क्या है तुझे यार, तुझे क्या मुसीबत है?
You've got to stop
ऐसे कुछ
thinking
ज़्यादा ही-
about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
वो भाई इंसान है क्या है?
Wasn't.
ओके चलो भाई
You make
नीचे
your
क्या
way
है?
to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in
dirty
blood,
hell.
a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
वो तेरी सच में नजर आ रहा
Do
है.
you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
क्या खतरनाक. भाग यहाँ
She
से.
is loose, and she is coming for you. Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen. Screw that. We can win. We've done it
हमला
before.
करो भाई.
We'll do it again. Only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
वो तेरी. Slay, I am going to end you, slay the princess.
You'll
Okay.
try. And that's what I've been so excited for. Let's hurt each other.
एक दूसरे को
Your
तकलीफ देने
heart
वाले.
free of fear, you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you
भाई,
prepared
दिल
to
देखो
lay
इसका
down your
कहाँ
very
पे.
essence in one blow. It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory. With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
वो तेरी चीर फाड़ दिया भाई इसने.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
क्या हो रहा है? वो ये क्या हो? क्या गेंदे के फूल की तरह गायब हो गई है? True to her word, you do not die by her hands. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
You approach the mirror, gaze into the reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time to see what's in it. Oh भाई अपना चेहरा देख रहा है भाई. It's you. क्या भाई खतरनाक है. तू भी कोई जिन भूत है. हाथ देख अपना. You're alone in the place that's empty. It is quiet here. You are at the cabin. Okay, approach her. नजर तो आ रही है हमें वो.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Hmm? What is a vessel, bhai? Are you the princess?
She is part of me,
Hmm.
and part of me is her.
अच्छा अब कहानी की समझ लग रही है. جو پرنسس ہے اس کو کسی ڈیمن نے یعنی کہ پوزیس کیا ہوا ہے, تو یہ وہ ہے. سے نتھنگ. اٹیک. You will crisscross the entire in front of you, but nothing happens.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
Okay, do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Do you know the narrator? Huh?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
What are you? کیا ہے بھائی تو؟
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
I'm a person.
A person. A set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
The gift from fragile vessel.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
سچ میں مار دیا تو نے اسے. Do you know about the world beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
How many more pieces do I own? And what if I let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow.
Aren't you scared that I'll finally kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
सच में? What you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
Let it be. You're being cinematic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
I'm going back. Wait. How much will I forget? How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Wait forever? Okay, ready, make me back.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Oh, we khatam. Everything goes dark and you die. Chapter 1 पे आ गए भाई.
You're on a path.
چلو بھائی آج کی ویڈیو کے لیے اتنا کافی ہے. تو یہ چوائسیز والے گیم ہے, اس کے اندر ملٹیپل چوائسیز ہیں, اور جو ہم نے اینڈنگ لی ہے وہ ہیپی اینڈنگ نہیں ہے, تو اس کے اندر کافی ساری اینڈنگز ہیں. تو میں اگلی ویڈیو میں کوشش کروں گا کہ اس میں اچھی اینڈنگ لوں. تو چینل کو سبسکرائب کر دو, لائک کر دو, ویڈیو کو شیئر کر دو. تب تک کے لیے گڈ بائے.